Hello! In this video I'm going to share something that you don't know about me. So 20 years ago I studied in university engineering of computers and I was studying software and also hardware and especially developing software, and I hated so much because it was nothing to do with me. So I was there like in the wrong movie. That was that episode of my life. So I was very depressed, studying something that I really hated, and I was lost, so I didn't know what I wanted of life. And that was a field of success, because technology is everywhere, right? So I thought, oh, I'm going to learn technology, so then I have a job for sure and success. So that was the idea behind being in that course. But I hated so much, so I was so depressed, but I was even finishing it. And then I studied this course, this 5 years course, and then I started to work as a teacher of computers back then in public schools. I was 2 years working as a teacher, and I hated so much because I didn't like the subject, the topic I was teaching, right? So I was keeping myself depressed, and I was all the time sick and stressed, full of anxiety and depressed during that period of time. And yeah, if you see my website, it was me who made it. It's very basic because that was a long time ago that I studied that. So I changed then to other job completely that I was really suicidal and everything when I was in that area, studying and working in that area that I hated so much. And I was really sick because I had an awful life, so sad and depressed. So then I changed totally my life, and then I went to aviation, and then I became a flight attendant. Then I start to live. Anyway, I want to talk about these times when I was a teacher of computers. And then I was in a school. Back then I was in a school. In the first year, I had good colleagues at work. But in the second year, I was a teacher. I went to a school where there was a colleague, a teacher, that she was really evil person. And she was very intelligent. So she was manipulating everything according to what she wanted. It was a very dangerous person. So I suffered so much of abuse at work because of her. And I didn't know nothing about these abusive tactics, manipulation, gaslight. And she was pretending to be my friend. She was very cynical. She was pretending to be my friend, and in my back she was turning all my students against me because we had common classes, students. And she was turning also colleagues of work against me, telling lies. And I didn't know nothing because she was pretending to be my friend. But it was very hostile environment. And then I had good colleagues that they came to me and they said to me what she was doing. And I was in shock and I didn't believe. Because this is how these tactics of manipulation work. It's like you even don't believe it's happening. It's so subtle. And of course, there was one time that it was so obvious. Even in front of me, she was already showing who she truly was, right? And she was doing that because she's very insecure person. She doesn't know nothing about computers then, and she was a teacher there. And she was putting down the people who knew about that topic. Me, because I was a easy target, and other colleague because he was very expert. And she wants to be the one to be the successful and loved by everybody. And she didn't know nothing about what she was teaching. Because she didn't understand nothing about that. So she had to go through other ways to be the spotlight. It's very sad. Anyway, she was a very dangerous person. I learned a lot from the about abuse back then. But she made my life miserable. Yes, it's really, really, really dangerous, these kind of people. And unfortunately, we live in a society that abuse is allowed. Actually, it starts already in the governments. They manipulate the masses. They manipulate people. And then it goes everywhere. We have in our family members, we have in our inner circle with friends, we have in a relationship, romantic relationship, because I suffered also this abuse in a relationship with a narcissist. So I attracted lots of abusers in my life, and I learned a lot from that, because then I also went to therapy and then studied a lot about that. So I became expert in abuse because I suffered so much and I did overcome so much. So this is then what I do on these last 8 years. I studied a lot psychology, therapy, and all these tactics of abuse and much more, and I applied on myself and also on my clients. So that's what I'm going to offer in my next event. I'm going to offer an event online and free on the 23rd of November, and it's about this topic, abuse at workplace, because we do suffer so much, even by bosses, colleagues, and sometimes it's subtle and you don't see, because they play gaslight. That was me. I suffered so much of gaslight at work back then. And I had no idea what was that. The person, the abuser, really keeps you entangled on their games, and it is to control and feel superior, and it's all about control. It's a territorial game. The person, the abuser, wants to control the zone, right? So it is very dangerous people, and they do everything to keep themselves in that spotlight, in that position. Like they have to be the successful ones, the loved ones, and then they step over others to get what they want. And when I was in a school, so it was public, so it was not about this hierarchy to gain power. But, well, they're also the director of the school, so maybe she was planning then to also be there, but it was not the case. She was just a very sad person, insecure, and she had to control all the environment to feel safe, and she was very dangerous, manipulator person. And she also did to my other colleague. And this is what this also the perpetrator do. they try to put everybody against the victim. And usually these abusers, they want to put down someone who's very strong, who's very charismatic, because they are so jealous, and they would put down these nice people. So if you were a victim of this abuse at your workplace, it's because you have all these nice qualities that the abuser wants to put down, because he's so jealous. Because these people are so sad and so jealous, then they want to put down the people who are shining, right? So it's very, very, very sad. So it's really important to know the tactics, the games, to be aware of what is happening. You have to study people around you, and you apply the tools to deal with these kind of dynamics to protect yourself. This is how you have to act, you have to do. And then people say, yo, but it shouldn't be like this, because everybody should follow ethics. You know, we live in a very dangerous place, where is everybody mixed here. Evil people, good people, everything is mixed here. If you don't see, the world out there is full of mafias, organizations that control governments and so on and so on. So it's a dangerous place, this society. And it's full of these dangerous people everywhere. So you have to be really smart to spot these games, and then you have the power to deal with it. I had to learn to defend myself. I had to learn to distinguish the behaviors, words, to make the profile of everybody at work. Because then when I was a flight attendant, I had to practice a lot of this as well, because I had so many different crews. So then there were all time different people. It was good because then you don't fly all the time with the same people. It's all time changing. That is good. But sometimes there were people that I was flying a lot with, and they were not nice, and I had to defend myself back then. And this is about position. You have to put position, because boundaries. You need also to develop boundaries. So it's a lot of here on this subject, and it's the world where we live. The society is very sick. So it's not enough just be authentic. You really need to have positioning. You need to have boundaries. And you need to study people. Otherwise, these evil people are going to play over you, and your life is going to be really miserable, right? As I suffered so much in these evil people's hands back then. Really, really, really evil people out there. So join my event. It's for free, and I'm going already to bring awareness and tools for you to apply in your life, in your daily life, at work, and just not at work. It's also, if you are starting a relationship, you are going to be aware of the red flags. If you also at your inner circle, you have to apply boundaries. So it's very helpful in all areas of your life. And I hope I see you there. I will put the link for you to subscribe here in the description and in the comments of this video, okay? So have a great day, and I hope we see you there. See you soon.